We're a week out from the general election, and Virginia has appealed to the Supreme Court over their purging of 1,600 supposed non citizens from the voting rolls, where they couldn't necessarily prove they were all non citizens. It was basically on a hunch. Lower courts have said that it's too close to the election, citing the 1993 uh, Voter Registration Act, which says you can't change voter rolls within 90 days of the election, and saying there's baseless claims and that if they do find somebody who is a non-citizen, they could purge that particular person or refer them for criminal prosecution. Well, Virginia is appealing to the Supreme Court for emergency action. Now we'll see what happens here. We'll see if they do anything about it. I think they're going to ignore it out of hand, or if they take it, it won't be on an emergency appeal, and they'll just let it go to their normal process and be after the election. I don't expect them to take this up right away. Now, I could be wrong, but one of the reasons I don't expect them to take it up right away, or to even take it up at all, possibly, is because they don't want another spotlight on them. There's already a lot of talk about the Supreme Court and how bad the Supreme Court is, how corrupt it is. When you got people like Clarence Thomas taking gifts from a billionaire, Harlan Crow, you've got Samuel Alito, who was flying the Appeal to Heaven flag, and he flew the upside down American flag after January 6th, things like that. And then you hear about John Roberts taking over the immunity decision and making sure it was written the way he wanted, not to mention the fact that we found out about, I think it was Brett Kavanaugh, where they bypassed the normal interview process and the normal investigation by the FBI and weren't allowed to get to the bottom of Brett Kavanaugh when he was being nominated for the Supreme Court. So with all of that, they're not going to want any additional attention. There's already going to be enough attention on them that they're talking about expanding the court, adding in reforms, an actual enforceable code of ethics, things like that. I just don't think the Supreme Court's going to wade into this one now because they've done enough damage to their own reputation at this point. They're not going to focus on this, and I think they're going to leave it alone.